The landscape of modern day football is an ever-changing one. Whether it be new competition formats, the implementation of technology, or the way in which clubs are being run, the sport has evolved more in the last 20 years than it ever has before. However, arguably the most seismic shift in the sport's history could well come to fruition in the very near future. The proposed European Super League could not only change the future of the game, but threatens to eradicate the history and tradition of the sport. 12 of Europe's foremost clubs have agreed to establish this new competition, which, despite benefiting those clubs massively, may prove to be catastrophic, as there is a possibility that it would not only destroy domestic leagues, but the underlying integrity of the game itself. The European Super League is a new European competition between 20 clubs, comprised of 15 founders and 5 annual qualifiers. Teams will be placed into 2 groups of 10 and will play each other twice, both home and away. Following this group stage, 8 clubs will qualify for a knockout tournament, again playing home and away legs, all the way up to a single Super League Championship game, which will be played at a neutral venue. All games will be played midweek and the competition will run from August until May. The ESL has stated that this competition would generate more money than the Champions League and would result in a greater distribution of wealth throughout the game. One of the most immediate criticisms of the league is that only 5 of the proposed 20 teams would need to enter based on merit, as the 15 founding clubs would have their place guaranteed. As of the time of writing, the so-called Big Six in the Premier League will be involved, that being Manchester United, Liverpool, Manchester City, Arsenal, Tottenham Hotspur and Chelsea. These 6 clubs, as well as AC Milan, Juventus, Inter Milan, Real Madrid, Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, will join the league as 12 of the 15 founding clubs, with 3 more to be added before the inaugural season. Despite the financial incentives for clubs to be a part of this new league, a number of Europe's biggest clubs have moved to distance themselves from it. The likes of Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, PSG and Porto are just a few who have stated that they will not be participating, and some have openly condemned the idea of the league, thereby cementing their opposition to it. There were talks in October involving Wall Street bank JP Morgan over a new £4.6 billion competition that would look to replace the Champions League. UEFA had hoped that the plans for a new 36-team Champions League would head off the formation of the Super League. However, the 12 sides involved in the Super League do not think that the reforms go far enough. They said that the global pandemic had accelerated the instability in the existing European football economic model, and that in recent months, extensive dialogue has taken place with football stakeholders regarding the future format of European competitions. The founding clubs believe the situations proposed following these talks do not solve fundamental issues, including the need to provide higher quality matches and additional financial resources for the overall football pyramid. However, Sky Sports news reporter Kaveh Solakal says this has come about for one reason only. "I keep saying it is about money, and if you look at the finances, a club like Manchester United playing in the Champions League, they make between 40 million and 80 million on a good year if they win it. If they play in this new competition, they get a cheque for 250 to 300 million to begin with. Then in the future, they will get 3 times as much money a season as they get from the Champions League." This view seems to be echoed by a multitude of pundits, fan groups and broadcasters, seeing the ESL as nothing more than an avenue to make the rich even richer, to the detriment of everyone else. As of this moment, the ESL is currently an unregulated league, meaning that it has no governing body. However, there are a number of footballing executives who have been confirmed in leading this organisation, with Real Madrid president Florentino Perez as chairman, with Andrea Agnelli, chairman of Juventus, Joel Glazer, co-chairman of Manchester United, John Henry, director of Liverpool, and Stan Kroenke, owner of Arsenal, all taking up vice-chairman roles within this new organisation. World governing body FIFA had previously said it would not recognise such a competition, and any players involved could be denied the chance to play at a World Cup. UEFA, Europe's governing body, reiterated that warning when it said players involved would be banned from all other competitions at domestic, European or world level, and could be prevented from representing their national teams. After the ESL was announced, FIFA expressed its disapproval of the proposed competition and called on all parties involved in heated discussions to engage in calm, constructive and balanced dialogue for the good of the game. The ESL has sent a letter to FIFA President Gianni Infantino and UEFA boss Alexander Ceferin, issuing notice of legal proceedings in European courts designed to block any sanctions the two governing bodies may try to enforce over the formation of the ESL. In a statement, the European Super League has said, "Going forward, the founding clubs look forward to holding discussions with UEFA and FIFA to work together in partnership to deliver the best outcomes for the new league and for football as a whole." The FA and Premier League of England, the Italian Football Federation and Serie A of Italy, and the Royal Spanish Football Federation and La Liga of Spain have issued a joint statement stating that they would consider all measures available to them, at all levels, both judicial and sporting, to prevent the Super League from proceeding. The football federations and top leagues of France and Germany, from which no clubs have yet joined, also released statements opposing the proposed Super League. The proposals met fierce criticism from the worlds of sport and politics. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, London Mayor Sadiq Khan, and President of France Emmanuel Macron all condemned the plans before the proposals were confirmed, whilst pundits such as Gary Neville launched a scathing attack of clubs involved and called for Manchester United, Arsenal and Liverpool to be relegated as punishment for their involvement. The loudest and most scathing outcry, however, has been from fans. Not only are fans of the 6 clubs involved outraged, but that anger has passed on to fans of clubs throughout all tiers of football, both here and on the continent. The outpouring of emotion stems from the fact that the owners of these clubs have, seemingly, sold out the history of the clubs and the passion of the fans. Supporters feel the hierarchy of their clubs have ignored them and shown them no respect as they look to put more money into their own pockets, seeing this proposed league as nothing more than a cynical cash grab. As well as that, the outrage that clubs had laid off countless staff members during a pandemic, all the while seeking deals which could make them hundreds of millions in profit, cannot be understated. Fan groups associated with all 6 English clubs involved are strongly opposed to the Super League. Liverpool supporters group Spirit of Shankly said it was appalled by the decision of Fenway Sports Group, the club's US-based owner. In a social media post, SOS said, "FSG have ignored the fans in their relentless and greedy pursuit of money. Football is ours, not theirs. Our football club is ours, not theirs." Chelsea Supporters Trust called the move unforgivable and said its members and football supporters across the world have experienced the ultimate betrayal. The Arsenal Supporters Trust called the club's agreement to join the death of Arsenal as a sporting institution. Manchester City's official supporters club said the move showed those involved have zero regard for the game's traditions, adding it was determined to fight against this proposed Super League. The Manchester United Supporters Trust had earlier said that the proposals were completely unacceptable, and the ESL goes against everything football and Manchester United should stand for. Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust said the ESL was a concept driven by avarice and self-interest at the expense of the intrinsic values of the game we hold so dear. As of this moment in time, the ESL is currently nothing more than a proposal. There are no concrete plans in place as of yet to make it a viable prospect. With no governing body to run and maintain the league, it makes the ESL coming to fruition that much more of a pipe dream. Despite this though, the fact that 12 of the most powerful and influential clubs have expressed a solid interest in making the league a reality may give credence to the idea that the European Super League may be an inevitability, leaving a trail of anger, hurt and disillusionment in its wake. What do you think of the idea of the European Super League? Do you support one of the 12 clubs that are involved? Let us know in the comment section down below. If you found this video informative, please do consider subscribing, hitting that like button and turning on notifications. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you as always in the next one.